I'm actually really delighted and honoured to be interviewing you today for your session in the upcoming ISCA conference. That's the Mexico conference, even though we're online. So I'd like to just, introduce you a little. Although I've known Susan Altschwager for a long time, this is, she is the catalyst for personal and planetary change. And she aligned to an ancient wisdom and deep knowing in Australia over 30 years ago. Her journey has been one of surrender and acceptance, not to necessarily what she wants, but rather what is wanting to come to her. So it's not necessarily always been an easy journey. Susan is a family constellation facilitator and trainer from Australia, and has also worked and conducted seminars and internationally as well. She is also an author of 2 books, An Ordinary Woman's Extraordinary Journey and New Story for Humanity, which is what guides so much of her work today. So welcome.
Thank you, Diane. It's lovely to see you again.
Yes.
We've been colleagues and friends for a long time.
We have. So Susan and I began our training together in 2009 with Yildiz Sethi, and it's been a really joyous, walking beside one another over these many years. The workshop that you're going to be running at the ISCA conference, you've entitled Winds of Change Global Family. Could you tell us what that means to you, why you've called it that? Oh dear.
My passion is exactly this, acknowledging and honouring the deep women have at this time and are responding to what is taking place for the human race. There's something big taking place for us.
Most definitely.
And I feel it's critical because in our work in constellation work, we're often talking about what is. This supports the system and supports us to feel a sense of peace. That's why I feel it's crucial that we begin to, it is truly taking place, something extraordinary is taking place for the human race. And there are many people throughout the globe that have had phenomenal situations or phenomenal experiences or deep awakenings, and they are connected to information and knowledge that is not a part of our mainstream education system, but is a part of something so ancient within us. And it's in our DNA. And at this time, that DNA is having a place of activation. So in my work, it's pulling me further, is to look at the future generations.
Yes.
And as they look back at us saying thank you. But it takes great courage, great commitment to be forerunners, to go first. And many people from all walks of life are being asked to do that.
It's interesting, isn't it, Susan? Because, and I apologise, I don't, just the very start of what you had to say was kind of blocked a little bit, but I think we caught it all anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, would you like to just say something about how that is impacting on people, what is actually showing up in people's lives right now as a result of that?
Yeah, well, there is a lot of fear in mainstream reality out there. Yeah. And if we start to have education about what is truly taking place, we will start to begin to understand what is taking place for us. We are beginning to see a bigger picture of who we are. We're beginning to feel a vibrational. What I'm talking about here is vibrational expansion. And so it's often not a word, it's a rhythm of connection. And within this connection, new systems will be born, new systems will come through and we will work with these systems as we are one humanity. This may take a few generations, but we're part of the beginning of this. We're like in a transition from completion and birth. And we're like a generation of transition. And us, that personal can have, what I'm talking about here is larger forces that can touch your nervous system. The energy of it can touch your nervous system. And often people will say they often feel like they're being rewired.
Yes. Yeah.
In constellation work, we learn to listen what people are saying. So if you listen to some of the things that are happening to people, you will hear words like that. I feel like I'm being rewired.
Yes.
I feel like I'm dying. Because that's the old in you dying, and a death process takes place. I feel like I'm in a void. I have no idea where I'm going, because your frontiers. I mean, these are the words many, many people are saying.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So, you know, the way that it's like as unknown as it is, you know, because that's what it's like, isn't it? To be a pioneer, to be out on the leading edge, with really nothing perhaps other than faith guiding you, do you know?
Yeah. And I think where we are gifted or blessed is we have the connection to our ancestors. And so great resource for us, because many of them did the walk to unknown places.
Absolutely.
Different to us, but the human experience very much the same. And so they're there for us to feel their strength, to feel their resistance, to feel their,
resilience.
Your resilience to go forward.
Yeah. It's like in this crazy time, it's such an exciting concept, isn't it?
Yeah. And honoring the ancestors' story, finding a place for their tears is very much of building a strong foundation for us to walk forward. Because this didn't just start with us. We have reached this place of evolution that we are able to hold it, able to feel it because of what's walked behind us.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we can take it from that and start to go forward. But often the journey is not,
Sorry,
constellation.
Susan, you just cut out a second there. So what did you say? Often the journey
is not for the light-hearted.
Definitely not.
Because you are asking to step into places that haven't been stepped, maybe in our history or in our generation. And so the other thing I would like to say, because we're looking at larger forces here, the evolutionary pulse, which is connected to our heartbeat, which is connected to Mother Earth's heartbeat. Many of us, I think humanity may walk through a journey that generations and let go to be able to create a new story. I feel as a humanity, we're very blessed, extremely blessed, because right at the right time here on this planet, we have a bigger picture opening us to us. This is not a coincidence. It's all on time.
Yeah.
And
I think as as uncertain as it all is, and as, you know, it does take enormous courage. But I think that what you're saying there, Susan, allows people, gives people something to hold on to.
Yes.
It's that whole thing, isn't it, of, my God, if we're going through this stuff, there has to be a reason for this. There has to be a purpose to what is going on, you know. And yes, I think it's taken the whole of human history to get to this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some people are born at this time to be sacred vision holders. And they will hold the vision for a new story.
Yeah.
And they have within them the ability to not get into the smaller game. And whatever's taking place, they will hold the vision.
Yeah.
They come from all walks of life. And then new leadership is coming through many. And leadership will be looked at and experienced in different ways in how we understand leadership of today.
Absolutely called for, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And through everyday men and women, honestly, from all walks of life, new systems will be born through them as we walk the journey forward as a humanity. It's really exciting times and opportunities. If we begin to have education, if we begin to honour the ancient in all of us, the ancient wisdom is there within us all. If we begin to see it from a different perspective of life.
Yeah.
So
I think it means for that we're all going to have
so
to
in my 2 hours workshop, and in my 2 hours workshop, you know, we'll just have some meditation, a little bit of education, and maybe 3 small processes are in the field around, you know, the cost for you, what it feels like letting go of the old, and then what it feels like for you as the old and the new meet, and this transition in you. And then maybe what is being asked of you, or what is wanting to create through you. So I'll go with the flow a bit of what people feel and want in the session, but that is what I'm putting out there that maybe we may look at.
Okay. Sounds really, I think if people have you know, heard this recording today, it will be a great opportunity for them to kind of perhaps sit with where they're at in preparation for attending this. You know, we have had a few glitches in the recording, but I'm hopeful that that's not going to really affect the message that's coming through. So very, very powerful message, Susan, and I think
I'm sure it'll be
and a real opportunity for people to connect, to recognize, you know, what really is going on here, and to provide a whole nother you know, explanation, I suppose, for. And I think also, you know, I believe that the children that are being born today, and a lot of our young people, need to know this, because they've got it in them. They're here for that purpose. And if they don't get directed in that way, then their energy may well be misused. So it's definitely a message, Susan, that needs to be shared far and wide. You've got your work cut out for you, darling.
We're all in this together somehow.
We are. Okay. Well, Susan, thank you. It's been always a delight to talk with you and to share with you. Is there anything else you wanted to add before?
No, just looking forward to seeing and hoping I can keep up with all the technology.
Well, you have to get someone in there to sit with you, because sometimes it can be difficult. All right, thank you very much, Susan. I'm sure people will be really delighted to attend Winds of Change Global Family with you during the conference. Okay.
Thank you,
that's right.
Diane. Great.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.